Good afternoon, guys. It's 12:15. Welcome to week 4. I don't even know my time anymore of shelter in place, of being at home. And this week is going to be a pretty normal one for what things have been looking like once again. It's funny because right before this whole thing happened, I had gotten more back to vlogging, which was really nice, and I was really excited about it. And I was like, oh, and I need to do more vlogs of going out, more outside, like just get out of the house more. And then this happened, and then the weather decided to add to the situation and compound it. So that's where we're at right now. Is anybody else like really tired of the rain? I'm conflicted. We did not get enough rain this year here in California. By any stretch of the imagination, the last numbers I heard, before the last week of added rain, we got like half what we usually do. And there's not a ton projected more before we would go into not getting any for the rest of the year until the fall. And part of me is very ready for this weather to be done and have nice weather outside, be able to go work on stuff outside. I want to, once my seeds, my starters are ready, I want to have the good weather to put them outside and be able to when the time comes. But without getting more rain, I am also extremely nervous for fire season. So that is conflicting. That is very conflicting, especially as the wife of a firefighter. It's like, that makes me nervous. But I can't really control it, so I'm just going to try to do what I can do. I still have my plants inside because they're not ready to go out yet. And yeah, we'll see. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's do an update on those. I will put on the screen when I started these and how long it's been. I have not actually kept track of that. I've just been trying to keep them watered with the heat mat and light when I can. Light is hard here because there's like not very much sunlight that directly comes in the house. But I see little baby hairs almost coming up that I'm hoping means things are happening and we'll get something out of these. Again, this is my very inexperienced experience being put into these. So I'm trying, and I feel like it's going to take a lot of trial and error. So I'm giving myself grace with that. But right now, I have, as silly as it may seem, I have them on the oven with the light from under the microwave on. That probably seems really weird, but that's the light I have for them. So you can see little baby things happening. And there's a couple of them that have some, not a ton, still nothing, like you can see the seeds still there, so I think I need to redo those. But you can kind of see some of them do have little baby hairs happening that I'm hoping mean something. I am wondering if I may see how these go and really just get some starters at the store either way, like some that are already started, so I can just get things growing and I don't have to worry about, if all, be able to bring them to germination and start them myself. Having never grown food before, this may be just something that I need to work on, but have starters that I'm buying at the same time to still make sure I'm having something growing, to practice that also. So I'm gonna look probably at prices and see if I want to do that. I also want to be really strategic with what I'm buying starters for and not just be having to reinvest that all the time. I want to eventually get to the point where I'm just starting everything from seed. But with what I'm having to work with and what I'm trying to learn, this is where I'm at. I have before had a tiny bit of success with little sprigs, and then they went really leggy. They went really spindly. They weren't strong, and I think from everything I've heard, that's lighting. That the lighting is the biggest concern in that area. So I'm going to work on that and be super intentional with that this time. That's one of the biggest things I'm paying attention to this time. Also how I'm watering them. So I've been using this instead of drowning them in water every time I water them, because I think that was one of my faults also. I was overwatering them, drowning them in water, and not giving them enough light. Very basic things I should have been paying attention to, but I'm learning. I'm learning how to actually do what I know in my head is supposed to be done. Because putting it into practice in your own unique situation is very different than reading in a book what you're supposed to do. And I feel like that maybe doesn't get talked about enough. Like, there's a real thing with all of that. You have to learn how to do yourself by doing it and not just head knowledge. So, that's been my process with this. It makes me sad every time it doesn't work because I want to grow food so bad. But we'll see. So I am venturing out to get groceries. It is time now to restock up on food. And this is my first time going this far away from home since this whole thing started. Since I did that big shopping trip that I showed you guys and all of that. This is my first time really venturing out and leaving our property. I have done a couple of trips, like I went to the restaurant we got lunch from, and I went to the little market, but that's it. So there's been like twice that I've gone about 10-15 minutes from home and then gone back, and like super quick trips. So this will be really interesting to see what things are like out there right now. And a lot has changed since I went out that last time. The situation kind of got worse and restrictions got different. So I have a mask and gloves to wear just as a precaution. I don't think there's been any official order to wear those things. They're still focusing on staying 6 feet apart and limiting physical contact and everything, but I think it's being recommended now. Officially being recommended, at least, to wear those things while you're out, when you need to go out. So, I don't know. I'm conflicted about it because I never want to be going to the extreme and adding to the panic, but I also don't want to be silly and not take the proper precautions. So I have it with me. We're gonna see what we can find for food and everything. Yeah. So let's go to town.